Hello, everyone. Andrew here for Drew Dat Games and Drew Dat Entertainment, back with episode number 50 of the Drew Dat Games podcast, here live on YouTube. And we're here to discuss today the Nintendo Direct from February 9th and a bunch of things that I wrote down from it that I feel are worth talking about. And also, Sam Maggs is no longer working on the KOTOR remake. We'll discuss that as well, because that just came to my attention a few minutes ago, courtesy of Ryan Kinnell from RK Outpost. So thank you, Ryan. But joining me, as per usual, finally we have everyone back together again. As you guys have heard him on the channel for a long time now, Joshy064. Hey, Josh.
Hello. Good evening. After.
And good night, depending on what time it is in your region. Thank you to Craig Ferguson for that joke. And as you heard by the little giggle there, Desert Nord is back with us. Hey, bro.
Yep, I'm here.
So, with all of that in mind, we haven't talked about games, all three of us together in one place in quite some time. So, Nord, what have you been up to lately?
Yeah, just my usual.
Okay, so I shouldn't have asked. So it's still Elder Scrolls Online then?
Yeah, for now it is still. I'm hoping that maybe by the 1 year anniversary of playing it, I'll have reached some sort of milestone, and then I can move on.
You sir have an addiction problem.
No, I'm just a completionist. You know that.
To one person, it's a completionist, but there's a line that no one can see that on the other side of that is addicted.
Well, and there is more DLC coming out in June, so
I know that. But
so that doesn't help.
but still, I'm just saying, to one person, it looks like a completionist. And that's true. You are a completionist. I know that. But to others, it might also look like you're addicted to this game.
Yeah. But you see, that's because it's infuriatingly difficult to complete.
Which means maybe you should devote at least 1 day a week to play something else.
Yeah, well, that's what I did with Red Dead 2. That's why I started on that one.
Finally, you're playing something else. But I also sent you Fallout 4 for your birthday.
Yeah, that one too.
And you still got to play that yet. And that was in 2015 that came out.
Yeah. And there's always will be a backlog. I'm never at the front edge of anything.
I'm never gonna be, so. But Joshy, what have you been playing?
I've been kind of working, so it's I've been really not been playing much at all though. But as of just basically kind of catching up on Gears of War, Gears 3. Other than that, I've been really not Gears 5. Sorry. Other than that, just I've been just too busy to even see any streamers or whatnot though. I've been on Twitch. No, I've been on Twitter, but I haven't been on anybody else's platform. So it's just been busy.
Yeah, I got back into watching Twitch streams again just the other day. That was Saturday after I got done with playing the most recent episode of the Adventures of Drew Heartfire for Skyrim. and I was watching and playing alongside Amber Andromeda for Mario Kart. So, but speaking of Nintendo Direct was on the 9th, and the first thing I wrote down is No Man's Sky is coming to the Switch this summer. Anyone who wants to jump in about No Man's Sky for the Switch, just go ahead and do it.
No Man's Sky, I only tried it a little bit though, and from like what I've played, it doesn't really hold your hand, and you basically just gotta learn. Oh, basically, one of my friends actually like kind of guided me like how to do stuff though, because basically you're just like put on a planet and you have to do this, and it doesn't really tell you how to do it though. Like, I only played it for like one day, and I'm like, yeah, it seems good, but it's just I don't know. It would have been nice if they would have like it was like a tutorial or whatnot that would have helped us out.
I personally, with No Man's Sky, have it for the Xbox One, which wasn't where I first played it. I first played it on the PS4 at the time, like about a year after it came out. But on both the versions, PlayStation, Xbox, I never got off the first planet because, as you were saying, Joshy, it doesn't hold your hand. All it does is it basically says, here, you got to do this, this, and this. Great. Have a good time. Well, fuck you too. Where the hell's my ship? I don't know.
Yeah, then like you get to your ship and like there's some steps you have to go ahead and
fix so you can get even flying. Yeah.
And luckily, one of my buddies like was like guided me through because like I got off the planet, got to another planet though. But like I don't know, the planet that he told me that I was on that they started me off was probably like the worst planet ever because basically it was like a snow planet, and like every like 5 minutes you're like, oh, you're about to die because basically you need like to be heated.
Yeah. I think I was stuck on a radioactive planet. Because, like, as soon as I would get, like, somewhere, the game was like, you're about to die because of radiation, blah, blah, blah. Go find shelter somewhere where there isn't radiation. Great. Where's shelter?
That's like another planet.
Yeah, but in order to do that, you have to find your ship, then you have to fix it, then you have to do all these other things to get the material so you could figure out where you got to be to put the materials together to fix your ship.
Yeah.
And the game tells you none of it, no information that you need of like, what materials do I need? Well, at least it tells you that. But it doesn't tell you where the materials are, how to use them to fix your ship, how to fix your ship, and it doesn't even tell you where your ship is.
Yeah, well, that just adds to the difficulty and adds to the realism because that's how life is.
Yeah, I guess.
You have a problem. You got a problem and don't know how to fix it. That's life.
Anyway, I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. So if you guys could talk about what launch and leading up to launch of No Man's Sky was, that would be awesome right now.
Well, there's also one thing about the No Man's Sky as well. To do basically, you be sitting there and you have like these storms coming, and basically you got to get in the cover or a cave. Because you can die from the damn storms. Like, okay.
Yeah, extra hazards. It's like just trying to do something basic and the environment itself trying to kill you. Which is also realism. You know? Because that's like if, you're trying to get on with your day and that day happens to have a snowstorm. You know?
I thought it was kind of weird as well too, because I think my friend said like, let's get in the cover because there's a a storm coming. Like I go in cover and basically there's no storm. I'm like, where's the storm? It's on my screen, but we're like both together on the same planet.
Yeah. It's like when they added storms in Assassin's Creed when you're in Black Flag when you're out sailing. But you'd have to be a complete moron to actually die from one of those, if you ask me, because they're far too basic, and they're too easy to avoid. They are like give you warning ahead of every brace moment. So I mean, that game was a little different. It wasn't really that dangerous. It was really more just like I'd go out looking for a big tidal wave just because it was more funny. But yeah, some games make it really challenging to survive even.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing about not being able to find the parts you need or the items you need to progress to the next part. Yeah, that's a frustrating thing, but it's also like what makes people like it in some cases.
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, and then just like, yeah, try for one day. I'm like, okay, this doesn't even hold your hand. All right, I'm done with
it. Yeah.
So, did you guys talk about pre-launch of No Man's Sky?
Oh yeah, well, I know the hype for it was very intense.
Yeah.
And there was a huge amount of letdown because the game was less than functional.
It was almost nothing compared to what what's his face from Hello Games was saying that No Man's Sky was at the time when they were first releasing it for PlayStation at the time. And that's also another thing, something that other people forget, that No Man's Sky was initially a timed exclusive to PlayStation as well. So, because at launch there was no multiplayer, there was the planets looked nothing like the trailers, nothing like.
Definitely true.
Yeah, and the animals looked nothing like the trailers either. They looked like they were... No Man's Sky at launch looked like a retarded version of what was promised.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Yeah, it was so ambitious though. It was so ambitious. It was like It was like they promised everything from that game.
Expectations were so high, but it's like, okay, we can't do this.
Then probably should have canceled it or delayed it.
The developer promised the world so wide that you never reach the end of it. But then when it came time to develop the game like that, they basically were like, well, you know what? We're going to outsource it because we ain't got the time, the dev money. We ain't got none of that to even make this game the way we said we would. So we're just going to have the end user do it for us. and
And
everyone was like, "Oh,
and
so this is a game we have to build before we can play it." Yeah.
And speaking of the end game of No Man's Sky, as Angry Joe pointed out in his angry review of it, simply is when the goal is to get to the center of the galaxy. When you do, angel singing music plays, and it pulls you back out from the center of the galaxy, so you see all these stars flying by. That's it. So you don't even see the center of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another flaw. Yeah.
But No Man's Sky is in a much better state today, and it's coming to the Switch this summer. So after that, we got Mario Strikers Battle League coming June 10th. So 2 days after my birthday. So
Well, it was always a fun game.
I never ventured into any of the sports game the Mario series did do.
the only sports games I remember playing for Nintendo were Mario Baseball, so Mario Super Sluggers, I think it was called. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour.
Yep, that was the big one.
Yeah, that was the big one for us. And then, does Mario Kart count as a sports game?
Well, yeah, it's race car. It's race car driving.
So then, obviously, Mario Kart to this day.
Yeah, Mario Kart. Yeah.
And
I think pretty much everyone living has played that game.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
and
people are like, "Yeah, I've never played Mario Kart."
And-
People are like, "Wait, what planet are you from?"
and the Mario characters appeared in NBA Street. So does that count?
Yeah, V3 was where you had the Mario characters
Yeah.
in basketball.
So should that count, even though it's not a straightforward Mario basketball game? They're just appearing in.
It definitely could count.
Because I still have that for the GameCube. So.
Yeah.
Which actually technically is Desert Nord's game, but.
And they did tennis.
They also did, well, obviously soccer, because we're talking about it, but
yeah,
they did a whole bunch of sports. They also did the Olympics with the Nintendo characters versus Sonic.
Which is where you got to see volleyball and all sorts of other, sort of sideline sports. And skiing, which was in Mario Party 2. I mean, also, Mario Party also. The skiing Mario characters, which is funny. And then there's all sorts of other random games. That some of them were sports-like, some of them were just like basic challenges in the Mario Party, line of games.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where they got the idea that they wanted to go into actual sports with the characters.
The only sport that I can think of that they haven't done with the Mario or the Nintendo characters is American football.
Yeah, I definitely haven't seen that, yeah.
Hey, Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Well, we found one person in our chat that hasn't played Mario Kart, Red Hood.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's
definitely one of the best games.
It's both a shame and probably a smart decision because Mario Kart has turned into socialism on a console.
Yeah, wow.
So it's probably for the best that you don't play Mario Kart. On the one hand, and on the other, you are missing swearing at people that you love all the time. Look no further than Geeks and Gamers, specifically Jeremy and Ripa's interaction with each other. And also look no further to something that I've said in Steph's chat while playing it with her. I love all of you, but fuck all of you. Yeah.
Yep.
I do watch G&G play it. Yeah. A lot of people do, Red Hood. But
that's what it's become now. It's become a spectator game more than just a playing it game.
For me, it's become a watch your favorite streamer play it, and if they're into playing it with you while you're watching, play it with them. Like Amber Andromeda, Mara Jade, Minority Home.
Yeah.
And Mr. Spicy Beard.
Yep.
Which I haven't seen him live lately, so he's apparently been busy too. But the new Mario Strikers Battle League, as we said, comes out July 10th.
It does look a little interesting though this time because like the your outfits and whatnot though, when you change them, it changes your stats as well too. That's kind of cool.
That's interesting, yeah. And after that, we got. I have down The Force Unleashed is coming to the Switch, done by Aspire Media, and coming out April 20th of this year. So, The Force Unleashed. Here's my story with The Force Unleashed. I personally was so hyped for it because I was still coming off of Knights of the Old Republic 2 at the time from Obsidian. And I couldn't wait so much that I bought a book that was written based off of the storyline of the game itself, obviously. And I read through half of that by the time the game came out for the PlayStation 2 at the time. And then later when I got a 360, I bought it there. I also had it for the PlayStation Portable as well. So.
Yep.
Joshy?
Yeah, there's two moments in that series that were memorable to me.
Yeah.
And the first one was pulling down the Star Destroyer with the Force. Was not something illustrated prior to that.
Well, it was shown in the trailers for it.
No. I meant in any other game before that, or any other Star Wars anything before that. That was something that no Sith or Jedi could ever have apparently done. But then there was the battle between Starkiller or whatever his name was, and Vader.
Yeah.
Which was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just so much wanted them to put an alternate ending where you actually kill Darth Vader. That would have been funny.
Or possibly even the Emperor. But Red Hood says in the chat about The Force Unleashed, can't wait to see how glitchy it is on the Switch. LOL. Well, keep in mind it's Aspire Media who also ported over to the Switch Jedi Knight 2 from the original Xbox and the PC. And I said my piece on how that ran. You couldn't aim up or down or left or right with the Switch Pro controller or any controller format for it. In order to aim to left or right, you had to walk left or right with Kyle Katarn. And in doing that and trying to aim at a guy to the left, I wound up falling off the edge of a cliff. And that was when I gave up and uninstalled Jedi Knight 2 from the Switch. I'm like, this is fucking shit.
Yeah, just bad controls.
Yeah.
You can't play a game when the controls are all wonky.
So yes. So in regards to Aspire Media porting over old games, they don't have a great history of being a success at it. Which leads me to the question of why do companies still trust them?
Yeah.
Don't
Tough
worry.
question.
I understand.
Don't worry. I'll wait.
Why did? Yeah, it's they just see dollar signs, I would assume.
Well, they'd be getting more money if they had a reliable company doing it that actually
Yeah,
made the ports controls function.
Yeah, but if their choice is make a game any game at all, they're obviously going to be overlooking any perceived flaws in the development team. They're like, yeah, whatever, we'll figure it out. Fans will eat it up because it's a game with this brand or whatever. Marketing team goes, yeah, that'll work. Fans don't give a shit about quality; they just care about the brand. That's what they tell themselves.
Which means that I'm expecting Aspire Media's full remake of Knights of the Old Republic to be a complete and utter disaster.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be woke. They're going to make sure that elements that are, against the woke crowd are removed from the old one. They're not just making it, they're not just putting a nice HD gleam on it. They're changing it. So,
and God help the KOTOR port to the Switch in the first place that they're also doing. Because they do every Star Wars port to the Switch, evidently. Because Nintendo doesn't care to work with a company that can make the shit run properly on their system.
Yep.
But I digress. But speaking of also ports, before I get to the next thing, Red Hood in the chat says, handled computer. I know Steam is supposed to come out with one, but Nintendo Switch is the only one I know of as of now. Okay. Not sure what you're talking about, Red Hood, but okay. I agree. But speaking of ports, Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection is coming to the Switch. And I missed the date because Jeremy was talking over it. Do me a favor, Jeremy. When they're talking about a release date for something, shut the fuck up, all right?
Yeah, it's all right. Ezio Auditore wasn't the greatest character in the. I mean, when it came down to it, he had a lot of potential to be the character that we all would have loved, but really, there are other characters. Ed Kenway's a better character than Ezio Auditore. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're gonna revamp this collection of Ezio-based games, but they kind of bloom was off the rose on Ezio Auditore. It was nice for a while, but then it went completely sideways as far as I'm concerned. Even if I go back and play the Assassin's Creed 2 and 3 or whatever, Brotherhood, or Revelation. Even the early ones, it just kind of takes it away, that mystique of, where does Ezio end? We all know it's like pathetic ending for Ezio. So what does it matter?
So I got the release date now finally, and it's 14. So it's 3 days from now. Is when it comes out. Yeah, it's on the 17th. But speaking of fuck,
I guess it's not as bad as Altair though, huh? It's like Altier. I mean, he could fall into a river and die. So.
But speaking of today, happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So, also, I don't know if you should call this a fun fact. It's just a fact that the NCO collection comes out the day after the anniversary of Drew Senior or Drew Dat Senior's passing. So our dad, which was February 16th of 2006, which coincidentally is also a Wednesday this year, which is also a day that I play The Witcher on Twitch. So you will find me on the anniversary of Dad passing away playing The Witcher on Twitch.
Somber occasion
this week. But a thought dawned on me to maybe play on stream a game from a series that he liked playing. And the only thing that I can really stream from any series that Dad liked playing, I'd have to play Madden on stream them.
Well, it wasn't that big of a Madden.
Well, in searching through my collection of games that I can stream directly from my console, because if you look back at the games that he loved the most, Mario Kart was one of them. I can't do that because the Switch doesn't offer direct streaming anywhere.
Yeah. You'd be better off playing MLB The Show or something.
Specifically,
game for more.
Yeah, his thing too. Yeah, I suppose. Maybe I might attempt to do that. But here's the problem. No, actually, I can do the show because that's on Xbox. I just have to reinstall it to the Series S.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I was going to say, that means I'd have to reinstall it to the PS4 Pro, and even then, my PlayStations won't connect to the monetized Twitch channel, so that wouldn't work for the Twitch channel. But it's also on Xbox, so. But in regards to like the Ken Griffey Jr. one for PlayStation 4, no, I wouldn't be able to do that on Twitch, just on YouTube. And I wouldn't do it on YouTube anyway. But that's an idea. But hey, gaming, how's it going, man?
What's up, game?
Buy a capture card. Well, here's the thing for me. Even if I got a capture card, I'm like, great. Now what do I do with it? Because in regards to technology, I'm kind of like Gary Nerdrotic, a bit of a boomer. Unless I'm familiar with it already, I'm not going to know what the fuck I'm doing with a capture card anyway. But anyway, Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection comes to the Switch on the 17th. So in like 3 days. Speaking of ports, because this probably should have been Nintendo Port Direct for showing. Kingdom Hearts Collection is coming to the Switch. That's Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD, 2.5 HD, and Kingdom Hearts 3 are all coming to the Switch.
Yeah, there's so much Kingdom Hearts out there. There's so many on the DS, whatever. I don't know. Like, 2.5 prequel, 2.5 ending of it, or something like that. Then they got like a 3.25 or something. I don't know. It's just they got so many games out there for that series.
Well, either way. Besides, guys, I'm perfectly fine with just playing my Nintendo stuff on my own anyway and streaming all of my PlayStation and my Xbox stuff in the various places that I do them. So, And secondly, I don't even know how much a capture card is, because if it's like even a fraction of like what the Switch is, I'm like, I get the money for that anyway. So, but yeah, but what were you guys saying about the Kingdom Hearts games coming to Switch?
Well, he was just saying there was a lot of content out there right now.
I probably already know the answer to this. The Chunk the Punk and Phil are obviously going to buy them because they're Kingdom Hearts simps. As I've said before, in the case of Chunk and Phil, hashtag Sora simp. But speaking of ports, as I said, Nintendo Port Direct 2022, Portal 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch and coming this year at some point. So, considering there's no date, probably by December, much like with Among Us to Xbox. So, Desert Nord, you are our Portal expert. I'll let you talk about Portal 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely a revolutionary game, which is not something I say very often about. Normally, I complain about games not being revolutionary. That game, the first and second games were excellent in terms of bending your mind in a way that you'd never had any game do that to you before. Having to think almost in circles about if I place a portal here and then over there and then up there and I jump through that one over there, can I get this accomplished like that? It's a kind of it was almost like a strategy game, but it didn't involve any like actual opponent, just the room itself.
Yeah.
Especially with the companion cube as well, too.
Oh, God, that fucking thing. That just made it so much worse because I had to worry about where the damn cube was going to end up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially with the damn multiplayer on Portal 2. That was a pretty mind-bending as well, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
overall, it's a really great game and series, or series of games.
Here's a thought: if you want to have a good multiplayer experience with Portal, play it from. In the case of Portal 2, just play it on Xbox. Specifically on the 360, if the servers are still up. Because there's, as we said, no chatting with people on the Switch. Because Nintendo are behind the times when it comes to multiplayer.
Yeah, they are.
But speaking of behind times and whatnot, Triangle Strategy, there's still no release date for it. There's a new demo, which your playing of the new demo will carry over to the full game when it comes out. That's great, but when the hell is this game coming out? Considering there's no release date, obviously not this year.
Yep.
At that point. And here's another port. Earthbound is coming to Nintendo Switch Online by way of, was it Super Nintendo that it was on? Right?
Long time ago, yeah. I never even played it, so
I
heard it was good.
The only time that I've been familiar with it is watching Far From Subtle play it, like on their mini streams that they used to do back when Fraser and Becky were still living in Canada. Therefore, living nearby Ben, Kyle, and Deacon. So all of them could get together for games and whatnot. But since Becky and Fraser moved to Japan, it's largely been just the two of them playing PlayStation games. So specifically on PS4 and PS5. So, but yeah, Earthbound, I'll give it a try and let you know what I think. But finally, something new-ish that's not a port here that we're going to end with for talking about the Nintendo stuff. The 40 plus maps that are coming to Mario Kart as paid DLC, and also all of the maps are also going to be included in the expansion pack for Nintendo Switch Online, that which also includes all of the stuff for Animal Crossing, I guess, and Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis games. So now this is going to be included with that, or you could buy separately for like $25 in the case of the pass to get all the maps. So, anyone want to add anything about this?
I like it, but then I kind of don't like it as well too, because basically it's all old maps and they're charging. I understand that they actually like took the time and remastered all the maps. Do appreciate that though. But yeah, it's all old maps. Like yeah.
In the case of charging for it, I understand why they're doing it, and especially with adding the option of you could buy it separately for like $25 for all of the maps, which is probably a good deal. Or if you want, you could get all this other stuff with it, with the Sega N64 and the Animal Crossing shit included with it instead. So on the one hand, you have two options of how to pay, of like what you want to get out of getting it. But at the same time, yeah, I wouldn't mind if the maps were free updates either. So,
yeah.
So, but it's probably for the best that it is included in the expansion to add value to that, which it needs a lot more value added to it. And this isn't enough yet to get me to get it. The expansion pass thing for Nintendo Switch Online, but they're getting closer and closer. Good job with the bot, Red Hood. But Gaming says in the chat, set and ready to destroy my opponents in Mario Kart. Yeah, if we're using items, yes, you will. But if we're allowed to do straight up no items, we've only done that once, and I won. So this means that when we do items, when it's based on luck, I'm near the top of every field. Well, when we don't do items, none of you can touch me without items. All right, guys. And until someone gives us a chance to do that again together with no items, I'm forever gonna be known as the best pure Mario Karter then. At that point.
Oh, hopefully.
Because so far we've only done it once, and I'm the only person to end up at the top of the board in points when that circuit was done. When we did no items, so. Well, I don't even know if you were there, Gaming, but I believe it was Mara that did it on her channel, so. And if you were there and you don't recall, well, of course you don't recall because I beat you. So you saying that wouldn't surprise me either, but the last thing I got here is woke activist Sam Maggs. is gone from Aspire Media and therefore no longer working on the KOTOR remake for Aspire Media.
Oh, they're going to troll again.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Sam Mags is gone from the KOTOR remake. Does this mean anything? It probably doesn't mean much. But at least we know one woke activist is not involved. Again. But what are your guys' thoughts on Sam Maggs not being involved anymore with the KOTOR remake?
I don't know the guy, so I don't know. This is one. I guess is one good look that good thing that like one activist like off the team.
First of all, Joshy, I would appreciate if you didn't misgender her. And secondly, her biggest claim to infamy was her being interviewed at the time by a major news organization about people being able to hack Grand Theft Auto, lock your character into place, and to basically rape your character within the game.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That was her.
I know who that person is.
That was her. So basically, she goes to the Anita Sarkeesian school of bullshit. Effectively. Nord, anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, anything Anita is anywhere near is sus. I'm just saying.
But your thoughts on Sam Maggs not being involved with Aspire Media any longer?
Well, I don't like it when people are told to leave because of really dumb reasons.
Well,
really unfortunate reasons.
According to Ryan Kindle's report on the situation, she's claiming that she wasn't asked to leave. She willingly quit. So
then I don't see where the victim part comes in. So I mean, if it's just she's quitting.
I wasn't talking about victim thing. I was just talking about the fact that she's not there anymore. And what this means for the Knights of the Old Republic remake. For me, it doesn't mean much because I still expect this thing to be an abstract disaster. Because when you're remaking Knights of the Old Republic, maybe you shouldn't be remaking it because the story itself needs absolutely fucking nothing. One of the best things in storytelling and gaming, let me word it this way. When you ask people what is the best story in a game that they've ever played, more times than not, a lot of gamers, regardless if they're a Star Wars fan or not, will say, and even if they haven't played it, a lot of the times you will get, well, the plot twist of you being Revan in Knights of the Old Republic 1 is some of the best writing ever in gaming. When you have some of the best writing in gaming right there in the game, all you have to do is remaster the graphics. Do not touch the fucking story. All right? Now, I don't know if Aspire Media is or isn't at this point. It wouldn't surprise me if they did touch up the story of the game in some way, because that's what companies do today. But in terms of one improvement I could see from the original game is the option of real-time combat or the classic style combat from the original game. In other words, the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment. That would be a positive thing to it.
Yeah.
To a point. With the exception of cutting up the game into different releases. That's a bad idea. Sorry about the spoiler, Red Hood. But first of all, Knights of the Old Republic is almost a 20-year-old game at this point. Is it really a spoiler anymore?
Yeah, I haven't even played KOTOR either. Oh, it's fine. I don't mind.
Look, guys. This is not Drew talking. This is Andrew, the man behind Drew That Game's talking here right now. All right. If you haven't played Knights of the Old Republic 1 by now, you're not going to.
I did buy it though. I do have it.
Oh, okay. Well, Joshy's just lazy. But my point is this: when you have something that's so well written, you better not change anything. Because if you do, people are not gonna like it. That's all I'm saying. Nord?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Any thoughts on any of this, considering you also played the first Knights of the Old Republic because I twisted your arm and tied you up and made you play it?
Well,
Excuse me.
not quite that extreme, but I guess you could say that figuratively.
Figuratively, yeah, I tied you up and I put the controller in your hand and went, play this. Well, yeah, I guess that's another way to get spoiled from the MMO too, Red Hood. Because Red Hood just said in the chat, not really, no. I kind of figured out when I played SWTOR, that's Star Wars The Old Republic, that you played Revan and KOTOR. And Gaming or What in the chat says, Joshy rage quit KOTOR. Is that true?
Possibly. It's been so long, but yeah, possibly. I was like, I think I probably didn't know where to go or something like that, and something with it though. And then just like, all right, done.
Well,
yeah, you mean like that battle with Malik that Drew spent forever fighting the Star Wars.
I was only in the beginning, so
yeah,
that was funny too. That was hilarious too. You spent like 20 minutes fighting the Starforge because you didn't realize what you had to do in the middle of the battle with Malik.
I think that's an understatement. I'm pretty sure it was more like an hour.
Yeah, whatever. It was a really long time. It went on for way too long.
Yeah, I just kept fighting the droids. I did not know how to shut off the droid creator things. And then I realized, oh, these computer terminals apparently do something. And then I started shutting them off, and I'm like, oh, so that's what I was supposed to do. And then there's also the boss battle with Malik at the end, in which I was just running in circles with him. Because of the turn-based combat thing. And the fact that using the Force to heal yourself drains your Force, so I had to wait for my Force to come back to use lightning again. So I had to start running in circles with Malik. So that's the battle for the galaxy, just running in circles on the Starforge with Malik and Revan. Which also, a fun fact for you guys in the chat, I, up until recently, had been playing Knights of the Old Republic 1 on Twitch, which I do intend to get back to. So if you want to see me playing it, stay tuned to the Twitch channel, because I promise I will get back to it at some point. But I'm kind of trying to save Star Wars games for during May, though, as well. For obviously May 4th, 5th, and May 25th. Speaking of which, a quick announcement about those dates on the Twitch channel. On May 4th, I'm gonna give away, out of my own pocket at least, four gift subs to the Drew That Games Twitch channel. On May 25th, I'm gonna give away a few more to the first people that show up in the chat for those streams. And also on June 8th, I'm going to give away 2 more to celebrate my birthday, which is also on a Wednesday. So expect that at some point in the future, the gift sub giveaway streams for Drew That Games on Twitch. Speaking of which, I can tell you this, that we do have someone in the chat right now that got the first ever gift sub for my Twitch channel, Gaming or What.
Yay.
So, yeah, and the only reason that came about is because I was trying to do an experiment, and it randomly gave the gift sub to Gaming, so. You're welcome, Gaming. Well, I just gave it out at random, and the random Twitch system decided that it was you. So thank Twitch's algorithm as much as me, Gaming. But as I said, on those dates, I'm gonna do a bunch more to celebrate May 4th. Possibly the next day on May 5th, which is a Thursday. We'll see if I stream that day or not. But definitely on May 25th, which is the anniversary of the original Star Wars, better known as A New Hope to the younger crowd, coming out in theaters back in the 70s. So, which is the real Star Wars day is May 25th. Just saying.
Yep.
But as far as anything I got, that's everything. Do you guys have anything you want to discuss gaming related?
For Nintendo, they added bringing out Wii Sports.
All right. What do you want to say about it?
It looks kind of cool. Just that there's like one game that they say is a classic. Oh, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I guess they said they added badminton, and there was one other classic game that came out that I never played on any of the Wii Sports ever. And they're like, oh, what the hell?
The only time I saw anyone playing, the only fan of Wii Sports that I've ever encountered or interacted with was a girl that I used to date. Because her favorite game on her Nintendo Wii was Wii Bowling.
That's the only thing that I've really played was just the bowling, and sometimes the tennis.
No, don't get me wrong. I love bowling. I have my grandfather's bowling ball still, so I just don't ever get the chance to go real bowling. And as I pointed out to her, yeah, we could play that, or we could just go actual bowling instead.
Yeah.
And instead we sat there watching Parks and Recreation on Netflix instead. But I digress.
Yep. Yeah, the Wii Sports catalog is quite interesting. The only one that was bad was the variation they did for the Olympics. I believe it was the 2016 Olympics, which everyone hated. But the regular Wii Sports was pretty good.
Where was the 2016 Olympics? I can't remember.
It was in Beijing, I'm quite sure.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like the current one.
Yeah, the one that no one wants to watch or attend. And when I say no one, I mean anyone except the fuck.
Oh no, hold on. Now they were in Rio. I'm thinking the '08 Olympics, where that was the one that was in Beijing before.
Yeah. But
it was in Rio.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one that's inspired the video game, the Wii Olympics game. The Rio Olympics, and it was bad.
But I was simply trying to say before the controller turned off again here on me. The current Olympics, you mean the one that only the athletes want to attend because they don't have any morals and people don't want to watch because of everything that China is into when it comes to a certain population of people in their country that they're throwing into camps, and no one gives a shit. That in modern day we have a country and a leader of that country seemingly acting like somebody with a mustache from the 1940s. And the people that should care don't. In fact, they at times even act like they're supporting it. Look no further than Disney. But I digress. But a China rant aside, Wii Sports, never really played it myself. In fact, I've never even owned a Wii. The only time that I've ever consistently played anything on a Wii at a friend's house was generally Mario Kart. Because usually my friends at the time would be like, let's drink and play Mario Kart. So I'm like, so we're going to drink and drive in the safest way possible. Okay. Because they were into playing drinking games while playing Mario Kart. So, for example, one game they enjoyed was basically the rules were this. You would be allowed to drive your character in Mario Kart like so far. You'd have to stop, pull off to the side of the track, down your entire drink, and you couldn't continue until you finished your drink. And then go further, down another drink, and keep going. It was really stupid.
Yep.
Because a better drinking game for Mario Kart, in my opinion, would have been something along the lines of, anytime you get hit with something, take a drink. That would be better. Because instead of the alternative of what we were doing, you had people just sitting on a track not doing anything for like 5 minutes sometimes. But
that's bad game design at that point.
No. Well, in the case of game design for the drinking game, yes. In the case of game design for Mario Kart, Nintendo had nothing to do with it.
No, you know what I mean though. Like,
yeah,
that's a type of glitch that shouldn't happen.
That wasn't a glitch. That was people just stopping on the side of the track to down their drink per the rules of the drinking game.
Yeah, but then you're not racing. Then you're just being idiots. Exactly.
That's why a better drinking game would be anytime you get hit with like, and you could basically do it like with a red shell or a blue shell only. So you don't die halfway through the race of alcohol poisoning.
Guys, let's have a drinking game and let's just drink until we all pass out. That's a drinking game.
Yeah.
What the hell? This dumb drinking game is what that is.
Yeah, but as I was saying, it would be better to do it based on like if you got hit by a certain item or something. If you did, take a drink.
Yeah, but again, like you said, it doesn't work right because there's so much frenetic action in that game. People get hit like with 3 items in a row, and then they have to sit there and down 3 drinks or whatever.
When I say take a drink, I mean take a sip of your drink and keep racing.
Yeah, I know, but they had to down three sips, and that takes them out of the race basically when they're already taken out of the race by getting hit by the shells to begin with.
Well, that's one of the downsides of playing a drinking game while playing Mario Kart. So, but either way. But still, I stand by my version is a lot better than what we were doing. Because then because as I said, we sat there for like 5 minutes trying to drink our entire beer or glass of wine or whatever anybody was drinking. Because if you're drinking a glass of wine versus a can of beer, you were going to start racing before other people, which wasn't fair. Because a glass of wine is easier to drink or to chug than a can of beer, in my opinion. And secondly, a glass of wine is usually smaller than a full can of beer. At least in my experience. So, but how did we get to talking about drinking games in Mario Kart?
Well, because we were talking about Wii Sports and
the
various games they've been working on.
Yeah, Nora, do you have any gaming topic that you want to throw out there and discuss?
It's been a thin week. Not really.
Yeah. We could talk about Dying Light 2.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was something to mention.
Yeah, because I started playing it while I was still sick on stream, which I did the day after it came out initially, instead of on launch day, because as I said, I was sick with the flu at the time. But I did what I could, even though the initial stream was only about 40 minutes, and then the next one was just over an hour, which is kind of short for me. But of what you guys have seen of Dying Light 2, what are your guys' thoughts on it?
Well, I think it's a good game. I think it's a game that they took their time and they did a pretty good job on.
I'm not seeing near as many glitches as like Mr. Matty Plays was, even though he was playing his review copy before the day one patch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm contemplating going back through the bug category and altering the rating for that because of it. Because initially I had it pre-scored pretty low based on that before the day before it came out.
Yeah.
But yeah. Otherwise, I will be getting back to it in the next couple days myself on stream, but I'm not sure if I'm enjoying it or bored yet. Because on the one hand, I started playing it while I was 6, so I probably shouldn't gauge my experience of playing it on that. So I probably should wait till I start playing it now to say how I feel about playing the game. Josh, anything you want to add about Dying Light 2?
Looks pretty good. Graphics good though. Like what? Everyone. So.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I still need to play the first one.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of the first one though.
You did say you were gonna stream that on your Twitch channel, right? The first one.
Just that I've been so busy the last couple of weeks. Still.
Yeah.
As of this week, I'll probably be starting to stream a bit more.
All right. Yeah, and if you guys don't follow Joshy064 on Twitch, do so. Let's get him to 50 followers and get him to affiliate as well. So he can monetize his shit too. And Nord, start using your Twitch account.
Yeah, I still gotta get it all linked up. You know how challenging that can be sometimes.
I don't remember how it works, because it's been a long
Yeah,
time since I
exactly.
linked it to the system.
Yeah, so yeah,
I'm
bear with me on that.
fairly certain it was easy though, because it was a direct link directly to the system.
Yeah. Well, I ain't saying it's complicated. I'm just saying that I haven't done it before.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that all you got to do is download the Twitch app
download
on the
app
system
and
and log in, and then at the top there's going to be a tab called Broadcast, and that's where you set up your stream directly on the app, and you have to keep the app open while your game is open. So it's actually pretty easy directly from the console itself.
Yeah. Well, in any case, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I also have to, I also like to do things that are more interesting because a lot of gamers just, are just barfing content out like a fire hose, and I'm kind of the person that wants my content to be targeted, interesting, highly clickable.
True, but at the same time, you got to start somewhere to try to get people to notice that, hey, you actually do shit.
Well, I'm about to cross the 100,000 views mark on my YouTube. So,
but how many subs do you usually get?
Well, I have 60 at last check. So it isn't nothing.
True.
But
still,
when you
at
the same time,
when you
at the same time, I ain't trying to create what you're trying to create.
Yeah, I'm trying to create something real that isn't fake, which means that there are no bots here, and if there are bots, there are people like Red Hood and Gaming who will.
What I meant is you're trying to create something where you have a brand and you make money. I ain't trying to do all that.
You're just trying to have fun.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make people laugh primarily, but also make them think, I guess. But I'm also just trying to enjoy myself through this process also. I don't want to end up doing shit I don't want to do. I don't want to end up feeling like it's an obligation or that it ever becomes a job. I don't want that.
Well, first of all, playing games is the kind of job that I want.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, that's you, though.
I don't want to spend the rest of my life in a store unloading trucks.
Yeah, well, fair point.
Because I'd rather sit here in front of a not so much in front of the camera, but mostly behind it, writing shit for someone who's more charismatic than me to sit in front of a camera and read that script. I'd rather write shit for Frosk. Haha.
Well, she needs help with writing in that regard.
all of fucking G4 needs help with writing. What G4 should do is fire their entire writing staff and hire gamers to write for them. and not
G4 is a complete mess.
And,
I don't even know.
And not hire activists to write for them.
Yeah, everybody that might be usable for the revival has completely allowed or even cheerleaded this double death it's experiencing now.
Yeah.
So,
because
I don't know. It's lost.
Because here's another fun fact: the rise of Drudat Games here on YouTube can be traced to the initial closing of the doors of G4.
Yeah.
Hear me out. All right. G4 closed their doors. I went searching for something to replace XPlay and whatnot for gaming information that I needed to make an educated purchase on games. I found Angry Joe at the time. But also at the same time, the seed was planted in my head to the YouTube thing of maybe doing the talking about games thing on YouTube myself. And then one video, Angry Joe was answering a question to one of his followers in his comments on a previous video of, should I start a gaming YouTube channel? And Angry Joe's answer is not too different from what Jeremy and Ryan say today. It was along the lines of, my advice to you is this. Just try it. Just do it. If it winds up being a success, you'll be better off for it. If it winds up being a flop, at least you will know that you tried. Instead of not doing it, and then I'm gonna borrow words from Edge, the wrestler here, from his promo when he came back from his 8-year-long neck injury. I refuse to live in a world of what ifs. What if I had tried? What if I went down this other path that I didn't take? Don't live in a world of what ifs. If there is something that you feel passionate about that you want to try to do, like YouTube, just do it.
Yeah.
So that message from Angry Joe led to me creating this channel that we're live on right now. And what kept me going through the no views, no one caring that I was even here was Jeremy and Ryan from Geeks and Gamers and D-Day Cobra and RK Outpost and Outpost Patriot, or Patriot Outpost, sorry, of them saying, just keep grinding, just keep going. And another side note about Twitch, if it weren't for one of my personal friends who lives down the street from me to suggest that I try Twitch in the first place, Drew That Games on Twitch wouldn't have never existed in the first place. So shout out to a different Chris than you guys are familiar with, whom I also am friends with on Xbox Live. So thank you, Chris, for that. Oh,
the simple point you were making,
yeah,
though, is a good one about there's a certain amount of dues that one must pay
to get somewhere.
In sweat and tears, and maybe even blood, depending, to get established and get going and finally have a following and actually maybe even a brand at some point.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is in all ventures and, a person's life, really.
That it's funny you say paying dues, because now that you say that, that's how I feel about the copyright strike with the Miles Morales thing. That was a due that had to be paid. And paid it was. What's that?
It was a choice, though. It was like here's a situation where I'm either going to be just saying, nah, I'm not going to do that, and then suffer the continuing lack of any attention, I guess.
Yeah.
And or do it, know the consequences ahead of time, and be like, you know what, I'm not do it because at least some people will know that I'm serious, not just some channel that's making shit up.
Yeah.
I got the game early. Here it is. Watch me play it, even though I'm not supposed to. Here it is. So you can stop calling me a liar.
And that's another thing that I kind of want to rant about. When it comes to studios copyright striking people for playing games, yeah, granted, you shouldn't play it like before launch. I get that, but at the same time, I also see like other channels like Outside Xbox or all these other not major channels, but bigger than us, being allowed to play, like, for example, Bugsnax, like 3 weeks before it comes out on their channel.
Correct, because those people have insider access.
And yet, they sign contracts. So they're bound to shit.
And you can always sell your soul for gain. You know that. I ain't got to tell you that. You can always trade your dignity for a little bit of clout. You can do that all day long, but it's not moral, and it doesn't make you a better person. In fact, it'll drag you down into hell. Honestly,
I'm glad you bring that up, because on the Spotify playlist of Drew That Entertainment, I believe it is, I have a song from Tom McDonald in that playlist called "Independent," it's called "The Music Industry." But the general idea of that song is, I'm independent till I'm dead or a bitter old man. I won't sign no deals. And that's exactly what you should expect from me. I won't sign anything with any with any major gaming company. I'm independent till I'm an independent streamer, content creator, game reviewer as I see it, and what a game journalist should be till I'm dead or a bitter old man, whichever comes first.
It's just that it's basically an offer they can't refuse, because they know that that's an easy path to getting people's eyeballs. They know that, and if to make matters worse, the developer is basically cool with it or wants them to, then they have the green light, and it's just like there's no downside for them, except for the fact that doing that, putting themselves at an unfair advantage against other streamers and gamers who are trying to do the same thing, is an act of immorality as far as ethics go.
Yeah, I agree. Josh?
I mean, it'll help them. It'll help their channel. It'll make them more popular, but it's a trade of their dignity.
It's selling their soul for something that doesn't matter in the end. Josh?
A little word called access.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
Do you have any thoughts on any of this?
No comment. No comment.
All right. Perhaps Desert Nord and I have been down in the rabbit holes for far too long that we've formulated what are the words I'm looking for? I guess Desert Nord and I, the two of us together, are a rebel with too many causes, or are two rebels with too many causes nowadays. Would you say that that's accurate about us?
Yep.
Thanks, Joshy.
Well, no, I mean, discontented is a word. I mean, it's difficult to
Well,
find.
you did say it.
Yeah. Well, that's the better word, I think, or at least for me, because that's I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of misbehavior in the industry, whether it's bad game design, deceptive advertising. I mean, the list goes on. People injecting themselves, self-inserts in games, woke crap that's completely offensive and nonsensical.
I think that's an accurate way to describe Tom McDonald's relationship with the music industry. He's discontent with them.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like you and I with the gaming industry as well.
Yeah, it's really not been easy to navigate the waters lately.
But then again, I can also say the same thing for me when it comes to the entertainment industry too, as a whole.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I mean, whether it's movies or music or you name it, basically, it's become really challenging to have standards.
Yeah.
And not seem like just some unhappy edgelord that hates everything, because it's there's always going to be good and bad in all things. It's just that, what do you do when you're swimming in a sea of bad? The good is somewhere. You can't see it though.
That's why I have said many times is that Drew That Games, Desert Nord, and Joshy, when we drag him down with us, aren't afraid to go down whatever rabbit hole we find to the bottom and come back and tell you guys what we found down there.
Go.
It doesn't matter if it's the rabbit hole that is Disney and Star Wars. It does not matter if it's the rabbit hole that is the gaming industry and all of its dirty laundry. Hollywood and all of its dirty laundry. And God knows they have the most. And anything else you can think of. We're essentially turning into, to a lesser degree, three versions of Chris Webby here. For lack of a better comparison.
Yeah, they try to keep the pissed off to a certain level.
Yeah.
It's not.
Try to contain it, but when it comes out, it has to come out. Kind of like a bad fart.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, it's nice that there are things in the gaming industry that you can at least cling to. Made well, good, entertaining, and that it's not all just one big flaming pile of turd, you know. It's not a completely destroyed industry. It's not a completely, laying in ruins, like films are right now. But it's still important to point both out, the good and the bad. I don't like to focus too much on one or the other. I don't like the idea that we'll just, get in a podcast and it'll all just be, oh, this sucks, that sucks, everything sucks, so it's just crap,
It's not like that. There is good out there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a fair perspective, or you're really honest either, to put it that way, because there is good stuff out there.
Yeah, occasionally something good does come from EA, like Jedi Fallen Order, for example.
Sure.
Yeah.
And occasionally,
if it weren't for that game, then they've had a real bad long streak of bad. No,
yeah.
EA is not well liked, but they still have some hope.
Yeah, but that's the general theme for me. Yeah, there's a lot to get upset about. There's a lot of bullshit out there, but there's also a lot of good stuff too. A lot of good entertainment, a lot of good games as well. Speaking of good entertainment or a good movie that I'm interested in seeing, if I have access or the opportunity to, that movie from the Daily Wire featuring Gina Carano. What's the name of it? I can't remember.
Shut In?
Yeah, that was...
I'm talking about the Western that a trailer released for. Yeah. That's something good to look forward to. Nord?
Yeah, hold on one second. I was, Shut In was the one everyone was talking about, but that's not the one you're referring to.
Yes.
Terror on the Prairie is the one you're referring to.
Yes, Terror on the Prairie. That's something to look forward to when that eventually comes out.
Yeah.
Hopefully they release it the same way that they released Shut In as a premiere on their YouTube channel, because at that point, I'm damn sure going to fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not big into horror movies, so that's why I didn't watch Shut In, but...
I think they're hoping for at least a small theater release. But then again, they also understand that streaming is the future, and a lot of people would rather watch it that way, whatever it may be, than actually go out into a theater.
And I'm going to give the Daily Wire a vote of confidence on something right here, right now on the stream. I, for one, would buy a Blu-ray of it. As I'm sure a lot of people would. So there's a thought for you, Ben and Daily Wire. A Blu-ray release of the name of the movie, Nord.
Yeah, it's Terror on the Prairie. Yeah.
A Blu-ray release of Terror on a Prairie.
On the Prairie. Yeah.
That's a license to print money for them.
Honestly, you know what it reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of Red Dead, the Red Dead series almost.
Yeah, it did.
And I mean, almost like, like she's Bonnie McFarlane, all over again.
Or maybe a more used version of John Marston's wife, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Just saying.
But yeah, it's right up the alley of a lot of people. I could see it being very popular. If indeed the writing is truly compelling, which I think it would be, because they're not messing around over there. Because Shut-In was great.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, why wouldn't this one be also just the same? So, I expect it to be great, and if it isn't, then I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, and on that note, I'm going to play something from YouTube here from Tom McDonald's YouTube channel. I've played this on Breaking Rocks before, but this mission statement is just as fitting for this channel when it comes to covering the gaming industry against bullshit and other crap. Like whatever FTs or whatever, that's NFT bullshit.
NFTs.
And that kind of thing. So I'll play this, and then we'll discuss it from Tom McDonald. It's that cinematic trailer from 5 months ago. So.
Be in business
and here's a goddamn ad.
Square.
Fuck you, Google. God damn it. Wrong camera. Here we go.
State your age. 32. State your country of residence. United States of America. State your name.
Drew that Games.
Tom McDonald. Under Section 4A of the Restrictions on Freedom Act, established by the International Police in February of 2022, you have been found to be in violation of several civil disobedience bylaws. Inciting public distrust of the government, solicitation of confidential information, anti-institutional rhetoric, unauthorized assembly of civilians with the purpose of protest, and amplifying social unrest. You are a threat to world safety, and therefore you are being charged by the international police for the aforementioned disobediences. How do you plead?
You know what you call disobedience? You know what we used to call that? Freedom. And what you call inappropriate, I call necessary. And what you call lies and conspiracy and anti-institutional rhetoric, I call that the truth. You guys really think you run the world, huh? You think you can just bully everyone and cancel everything? You think you can just push us around so we all fall in line? Here's the thing. I've been fighting for the world for a long time. For the losers and the rejects and the outcasts and the forgotten. For the abused and the unwell and the disenfranchised.
Calm down, Mr. McDonald.
No, I've been fighting for our freedoms and our safety and our survival and the way that we remember the world used to be. I've been fighting for the world.
Sit down.
No, I'm not going to sit down. I won't shut up. I will not quit. I will not back off. I won't let you destroy everything that people have spent their lives trying to build. I have fought for the world for all my life, but do not think for a second that I will not fight against it.
That's why you're here. That's why you will never leave here.
You think you can stop me? You really think you can stop me? It's been me against the world since I was old enough to think.
War, famine, natural disaster. The world has fought it all and won. The world is undefeated. We are undefeated. One man will not change that.
You see, that's where you screwed up. They say with great power comes great responsibility. You know what else comes with great power? Ignorance. Careless mistakes. The ability to vastly underestimate the people who you have power over. And I am not alone. You can lock me up, you can hide me away, you can shoot me down like a dog in the street, but I promise you, you cannot kill me. My word, my message, my vision, my spirit will live on through Hangover Gang forever. And you know what? I guess you're not the only one making mistakes. Because when I said it was me against the world, I was mistaken. It's not me against the world. It's us against the world. But to answer your question, not guilty.
Like Tom said, it's not me against the world. You guys see this shirt I'm gonna hold up? It's us against the world.
Oh, rebellion shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the shirt I'm wearing too on top of it. So with that in mind, my thought is this. This channel could get canceled. It could get deleted. But if it does, my message, my word, will live over through the rebellion, through Ryan Kinnell and his words, through Geeks and Gamers, through Joshy064, through Red Hood, through Gaming or What, through Midnight's Edge. It's us against the system. Which is why this announcement you get from me, the unofficial theme for Drew Dat, is simply a song that has no video from Tom McDonald, is simply called Just Like Me, which I did send to you, Joshy.
Yeah.
So that's the mission of Drew Dat Games. And that message from Tom McDonald, it's the same message you get from Drew Dat Entertainment and pretty much everywhere I am. The only difference is if I'm on someone else's channel, I'm going to abide by their standards and not say certain things. But here, you're getting all of it from me because it's my channel and I don't care. Or rather, maybe the problem is I care too much. Much like my favorite wrestler, CM Punk. Anyone else want to add anything?
Well, yeah, I would just add that there's always going to be a drive as long as there's breath, you know. And things can be sunny and happy or bleak. It doesn't really matter. That type of thing shouldn't change a person's outlook.
Yeah.
Because there are things in the world you can't do anything about.
Yeah.
And it's important for everyone, some people especially, to realize what they can't change. And then there's things that they shouldn't be allowed to change or shouldn't expect to change. And then there are things that they should change. Most of the things that you should change, you can because you're in control of them. You know, like your own attitude. like how you
Yeah.
see other people, like your responses to things. Those are all under your control at all times.
Yeah.
People who believe they aren't are lying or lying to themselves. The idea that someone else makes you feel something is just a lie. No one makes you feel anything. You choose to react a certain way.
Yeah.
People have to remember that.
And I'm going to end with 2 other videos from Tom McDonald here for this stream. So this next one is a callback to something that we were alluding to earlier. And I actually did mention it. So
You make it fun.
once the ads are done,
We make it easy.
here we go.
Look at all the rappers that the game's killed. Record labels making billions. Why can't artists even pay bills? You get taken advantage of if you take deals. They're the devil, ain't no angels in the outfield. You get you chains and a bracelet, maybe a fake grill. You get you paid and you're famous, baby, it ain't real. Couple million think you made it, but the record label take it when you overdose on alcohol and pain pills. Give me a pen and a pad, I'm gonna get in the lab. I'm gonna kill them with tracks, I'ma deliver the facts. Nobody holding me back, labels are tricking the fans. Rappers are industry plans, everything planned. I ain't brain dead, never signed a deal, it don't make sense. Never let a label manipulate what I've made yet. Invading the industry independently, I break in. Kill the gatekeepers with a blaze, the gate that mainstream rappers see the fame, wanna break bread. So late for sale, never sell out trying to pay rent. Illuminati puppets, the industry, hail Satan. The devil making deals, I'm gonna shake hands. Independent, underrated, these other rappers all hate it. Going viral with no label, with no manager or agent. Call my mama, I got comments and the money going crazy. And she crying, trying to tell me that she's happy for a baby. Like, ooh, ayy, finally got that deal, got a pen in my hand. Ooh, ayy. Like, how you trying to buy who the hell I am? You can keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I don't make dollar canceled. Stealing people's dreams, I can't sleep. It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead, I quit the music industry. Artists really only want to chase dreams. We're broke all our lives begging labels, please take me. Trick us into thinking getting deals is a great thing. Spend our whole careers trying to break free. The fans that they...
Before I get back to this song, someone in the chat said something interesting. The Nerd Pro Life Form. I was interested in seeing a remaster of Toronto Cross, and I want to try Kahlua. Kahlua. That's that one game with the fox-looking thing, I think, or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, those kind of did look a little interesting, but not enough for me to write down. I need to see more first. But anyway, back to Tom McDonald and the music industry here.
Artists really only want to chase dreams. We're broke all our lives begging labels, please take me. Trick us into thinking getting deals is a great thing. Spend our whole careers trying to break free. The fans say they love us, trying to give them music they need. Label doesn't like it, that ain't mainstream. You're looking in the mirror like, what happened, man? This ain't me. I guess that I just don't see what they see. Give me a mic in the booth, I'm gonna die for the truth. I'm gonna fight for the youth, I don't got nothing to lose. Labels are hiding the proof, look, I'm gonna give you a clue. Illuminati symbols are the logos major labels use. They're calling me an industry plant, I giggle and laugh. I'm the total opposite of what they want, I'm spitting the facts. I make songs about the honest things you whisper to fam. I've exposed the government, they wanna kill me for that. I put the pedophile sex calls on infinite blast. I leaked the industry secrets and I did it with rap. How dare you try to say that my intentions aren't acting up? My vision is a pillar of their intricate plan. And when to manage my decisions independent gold packs, no, you won't see my initials on official contracts. Independent till I'm dead or I'm a bitter old man. Middle fingers, I'm a missile that they can't hold back. Like, ooh, ayy, finally got that deal, got a pen in my hand. Ooh, ayy, like how you trying to buy who the hell I am? You can keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I don't make dollar canceled. Stealing people's dreams, I can't sleep. It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead, I quit the music industry. Miss me with all of that industry talk. Work my whole life for the things that I have. Why would I give you the keys to the car? If you just gon' drive while I pay for the gas, I ain't gon' come to your meetings no more. Told you already, ain't giving you half. Y'all can't wait to get your feet in the door. Then lock me outside while you steal from my fans. Keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I don't make me. Y'all are canceled, stealing people's dreams. I can't sleep. It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead. I quit the music in no cash. I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts. I do me. Y'all are canceled, stealing people's dreams. I can't sleep. It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead. I quit the music industry.
Yeah, as I said, as far as I'm concerned, I'm independent. Reviewer, streamer. Yeah, I am affiliate of Twitch. But the only person that's going to tell me when to stream and what I can and can't say, as far as I'm concerned, within reason, is you guys in the chat, is the followers and the viewers. As far as I'm concerned, because it's you guys who make Drew That Games relevant. Anyone want to add anything else before I play the last video, which is dedicated to all of our subs, followers, and viewers?
No, I would just say that it is good that they understand the appreciation.
As much as I appreciate them, I appreciate independent artists and people who do things outside of the big system that is designed to control all of us, like Tom McDonald and Chris Webby. And other independent creators, like now Gina Carano as a film director as well. And also by proxy, the Daily Wire as well.
Yeah.
But speaking of appreciation, this video that I'm going to play from, well, you guys aren't going to see the video because the screen is off camera, obviously, but you guys will be able to hear it. It's my fans. And this is dedicated from me by way of Tom McDonald. Thank you, Tom, for the video and the song. As always, if you guys aren't subscribed to Tom McDonald on YouTube, please go do so. This is exactly what I'm saying when I say I love you guys. And I believe I can't speak for Joshy and Desert Nord on this, right?
Sure.
Once we're done with a Bud Light Seltzer ad, here we go.
Hey, family. I got brothers from different mamas and daddies. I got people who would kill for me, I'd kill for them, and we ain't never met. We just say what up on the internet. Shout out to anyone showing love in the comments. Just know I got you to the day they put me down in that coffin. If y'all got problems, I'm in your corner. Together we'll solve them. It's like a family reunion when I see y'all at a concert. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Meet you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. And everybody bitter that we've been doing it bigger. If you're triggered, we ain't tripping. We know you don't get the picture. We all better than ever. We got each other whenever we need a friend, and our bond is thicker than genuine leather. Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together to the grave. If the game go forever in the day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip if they hate. I don't give a in our veins, man. Me and my fans, we the hangover gang. Gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Meet you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like with gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family. Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together to the grave. If the game go forever in the day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip if they hate. I don't give other things, man. Me and my friends, we the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang. I just want you to know that I really love y'all. I'm alive to write this song, and that's because of y'all. You pulled me out of the coffin. You didn't know I was locked and showed me love when I was ready to be done, y'all. You saw something in me. I guess you see in yourselves. I'm so thankful because I needed your help. The least I can do is try to explain how it felt, but I'll never find the words to sum it up very well. I just want to say thanks. I just want you to know, if you're holding my hand, I will never let go. Beside you I stand through the rain and the snow. If you're hangover gang, you're home. Me and my friends, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my friends, we gon' be together to the grave. If the game go forever in the day, man. Me and my friends, we don't even trip if they hate. I don't give in our veins, man. Me and my friends, we the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang. Me and my friends, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my friends, we gon' be together to the grave. If the game go forever in the day, man. Me and my friends, we don't even trip if they hate. I don't give in our veins, man. Me and my friends, we the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Like Tom said, and I'll translate this to what we do here. Anytime I see you guys in a live stream chat, regardless if it's my channel or someone else's, for me it's like a family reunion.
Yep.
And likewise, the only person in this group here, all of us, that I've ever met in person is Desert Nord. All the rest of us, we never met. We just say what up on the internet. Hi, Joshy.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for Red Hood, gaming. Well, in the case of you and gaming, you guys have seen each other in person, right? Josh?
What's up?
In the case of gaming, the two of you have met up in person.
Yeah.
Because you're all a family, just like Desert Nord and I are. But yeah, and also the nerd pro life form. Never met you in person, but we're grateful you're here. And as I said, gaming and Red Hood, and anyone else who either will watch this after the fact or who has been here that hasn't said anything in the chat, we appreciate you as well. Because you don't have to say anything in the chat to be appreciated by us, as far as I'm concerned. Just as long as you're here, that's all that matters. Because at times, I won't say things in people's chat. Sometimes I'll just be there to watch. Like with Heel versus Babyface and Quarter Black Garrett, we're playing Dying Light 2 the other day. I was not in the chat. I was just enjoying watching them play the game while I was playing something on Xbox on my other screen. So, not everyone who shows up is going to be active in the chat, so. But with all of that in mind, do you guys have any last minute things before we start doing the outro?
No, I don't have anything else.
Josh?
Nope, got nothing else.
All right, so what are you guys going to be playing or doing after this?
I'm gonna go probably eat and then go take a nap.
Nord?
Oh yeah, I got things I gotta do. Yeah. I'll be hightailing it out.
I'm gonna get something to eat. Probably, chances are play something at some point. It is Monday, so I will be live on Twitch at some point today. As to what I'll be playing, it's either gonna be Mass Effect 2 or it's gonna be Dying Light 2. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling at that point, but I will be live at some point later.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it won't be like while My Nerdy Home or Mara are live, if they're going to go live today. But if I'm still alive at that point, then I'll be rating one of them. So, like is a tradition for us at Drew Dat Games on Twitch, we always end with a raid. Which that's another thing. Remind me, Nord, before we hang up on our thing on Xbox Live here, I got something I want to ask you too. But with all of that in mind, thank you to everyone in the chat who was here for this. This went nearly 2 hours today because we went into overtime into some extracurricular activities, let's say. To thank you guys and for you guys to understand where we come from here at Drew Dat Games is really just me. We really need a collective name for the three of us at this point. And the more that I think about it, the more the idea of either Rebellion Gaming or Rebellion Entertainment makes sense. But we can discuss that later. But with all of that in mind, keep in mind one thing, guys. Raylos are weird. Fuck Naughty Dog, as my shirt says. Welcome to the Rebellion. And we will see you guys in the next one. Like I said, later on Twitch today.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Brandon.
Yep.